What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to show you how I made almost $900 today off of just one My Funded Futures account. I was floating roughly around $1,400, but I took a small loss earlier, which I will show. Let's see if I can actually show my history. Let's see. Boom. You can see where I took my first loss. I'll break that down as well, but I'm going to do an entire top-down analysis. This is free game. This is 6 years worth of knowledge for free. My goal is to just give all the knowledge I've learned over the course of 6 years for free, because when I started, I had no money to invest, and this was something I was looking for. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting on the weekly, we are bullish. We were making higher highs, higher lows. Then we ended up breaking structure, pulled right back up, made a lower high, then ended up making a higher low and breaking the other weekly's candles. So if I move this over, you can see that we have clearly broke the high. So weekly for me is bullish, and the best way I like to do it is just do the text and type out my weekly, daily, H4, and H1, right? And to have the best probability, you want at least 3 of these things in line. And when I mean in line, you want them to either be bullish or bearish. So for instance, the weekly is bullish. So we drop down to the daily, do the exact same thing. Look to see what we're doing. Clear as day, we're making higher highs, higher lows on the daily, right? Clear as day. So move this over as well. Higher highs, higher lows. You can clearly see that we are trending up. So the weekly's bullish, the daily's bullish. So far, it makes no sense to want to sell. You want to look for what direction the trend is going in and follow it. It's the easiest way to make money. You can have a bad entry and still make money as long as you're on the right side of the trend. So now you go down to the 4 hour. Same exact thing, right? Figure out which way the trend is moving and just follow it, right? So when we came in, it looked like we were bearish on the 4 hour, okay? But remember, the weekly's bullish, the daily's bullish. The higher the time frame, the stronger the data. The more likely that the higher time frame is going to hold and do what it's supposed to do. So if you look, I trade very simple. Previous resistance, 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 turn support. These are 4 hour candlesticks. 4 hours. So for the past, let's see, day and 4 hours, we have respected this area. Okay. So we dropped down to, actually, let's see. I came in at 9:30. We were fully bullish. So I had this marked off as bullish. And if you look, actually, this is the swing high that was taken. This swing high was taken out. So if you, it's a little bit more advanced that I can go into in another video explaining swing highs and swing lows, but taking this swing high, even though we start making lower lows and lower highs on a 4 hour, I expect it to just be a pullback into a 50% of the fib, which exactly that was. Okay. So this is a little bit more advanced. Like I said, I can make more videos on the advanced, but just straight basics of what happened today. 4 hour for me is bullish, right? So now the weekly's bullish, daily's bullish, and 4 hour is bullish, right? So we drop down to our 1 hour. 1 hour was bearish at the moment, right? We were looking at something like this. We were bearish at the moment, but knowing that the 4 hour is bullish, the daily's bullish, and the weekly's bullish, I'm just waiting for price to show me that we are going bullish, which we actually ended up doing because we pushed up and all we did was reject off this previous supply area. That's all this was. This was a previous supply. If we were bearish, we would have held this and pushed down. So because we are bullish, this was just a reaction zone. It wasn't a valid supply to break structure to the downside. So I actually didn't get in this. I waited. So what I did was I just waited for the lower time frames to tell me that we were bullish. So I ignored all this push up I just watched. Draw my fib out from the lowest point to the highest, and I just looked to see where we could pull back into. Well, I had this as my main area because this was a 5-minute order block. Clear as day, 5-minute order block, previous swing high on the 5-minute that was broke, retested. You go to the 15-minute, previous swing high that was broke, retested. 30-minute, it is a 30-minute order block, and an hour, it is an hour order block. So you have the hour order block, 30-minute order block, 15 swing high retest, and 5-minute swing high retest. So all you want to do is try to stack your confluences as much as you can in the direction you think the trend is going. So the way I entered, and actually the first trade was, and this was my own fault, what I like to do is see the market shift structure, right? So if you look, we absolutely melted. Okay, once we melted and I started seeing us make higher highs and higher lows and respecting these 1-minute order blocks, right here, respected. What do we do? Respect this one. And once we respected this one and broke this 1-minute high that I was intrigued in, I actually took the trade off of this Morningstar that was a bullish engulfing, and I had my stops here, right? And during my live, I clearly said, I think I messed up. I should have my stops down here because I knew this could be liquidity. And that's exactly what I was. I was liquidity. So the best way I should have went around that was, even though we created this, wait for price to continue up and then retest. But it was a small little 370, I think $8 loss. So once that happened, all I did was just look at different time frames, right? I am a pattern trader, so that means I look for morning stars, evening stars, bullish engulfings, just bullish and bearish patterns in areas that I'm interested in. So I'm still interested in this area. Like I said, 1 hour order block, 30-minute order block. So let's see. I knew that this could be the liquidity, which I was actually right about. Came down, took me out, still respected this 1-minute order block, created a Morningstar right here. Morningstars are 3-pattern formation. So bearish, bullish, and then bullish. So essentially a bearish candle, a doji, and then a bullish candle. So I got that on the 1-minute. I got it on the 2-minute. And I also got it on the 4-minute. So when I started to see, or the 3-minute and the 4-minute, when I started to see these all create morning stars off my area, I was very, very intrigued. I felt like this was a higher probability setup. So after we created this morning star on the 1-minute, 2-minute created the exact same thing, 3-minute created the exact same thing, and 4-minute created the exact same thing. So I got 3 or 4 different time frames telling me that we have a higher probability of going up off of this area than melting. So once I started to see, once this 1-minute closed and I seen the 2-minute and the 3-minute and the 4-minute forming, that's actually when I entered. I entered off the break of this candle, because even within candlesticks there is market structure. So breaking that candlestick basically could be higher high, higher low, because if I go down to 30-second, which I can't, but if I did, it would be making higher highs, higher lows. Right, so once we broke that high, I got in. Stop loss was actually below the lows this time, and TP was my -27 extension fib. Right, so we shot straight up, 100% shot straight up. Now I actually ended up going break even right here. Once we got up into here, I went break even because this was a 5-minute fair value gap. Just in case I was wrong and price wanted to fall down, I didn't want to lose the second trade. So we went break even. Once we got up into here, I knew that we could potentially reject again. So I actually ended up closing. Let's see. I actually ended up closing once we got this bearish candle. Once we got this bearish candle, I closed. I still made 3%, which is a great return. I was actually looking for 4.86, close to 5%. I would have made roughly around 2,300, I think it was, or 2,700. Um, but again, working on not being greedy. Wanted to close, take my money. I can come back tomorrow, make another $1,000, maybe $1,500. And this is a prop firm account. This is my funded futures. So the goal is to get a payout. The goal isn't to make as much money as you can in the first day. So as you see, what I could have done is, well, I couldn't do it because I took it with a mini. So I only had one mini open. I couldn't close my partials. I thought about it, but I could not. If I would have taken it on micro, I could have closed partials and left a runner, which would have hit. But I was extremely happy. I mean, first day, almost $900. You know, you only need a buffer of 2,000? Yeah, you only need a buffer of 2,000. So, could get a payout kind of soon. But I actually called this on the live. It hit in 50 minutes. I mean, shoot, $900 in 50 minutes. I don't know who would not want to do that. That's a great trade. I mean, straight profit. So if you guys want more videos like this, subscribe, like. I'm going to start posting my wins, my losses, and breaking them down and why I took them. I will also be live trading Monday through Friday at 9:30 every morning. Come in, take a trade with me if you want to, but this is not a signal room. This is just me showing the process of how somebody who's been trading for 6 years can just give you free game. No need to pay, no nothing. I want to show people that it's easy to make money online, and it is possible. It's not how people make it out to seem where you're gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars per day. You're never gonna lose. You got an 80% win rate. That's not. I want to show people what it's like to actually trade in these markets. I'm not no guru, no fake guru, none of that. I want to bring the reality of trading to real people. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.